So, we meet Steve, the richest man in the world at the start of this film. Along with being rich, Steve was old and sick. So now he came to meet a company that claims to make any old man young. Steve comes here and meets Dr. Chun, who tells Steve that we are working on a project, with the help of which we give the body of an old man to a young man. Or to say that we transplant the mind of that old man into the body of a young man, because of which he can live twice as long. But this whole thing was not going to be done by any surgery. All this work was going to be done by an automation machine. Steve now asks the doctor, "Why don't most people know about your company?" So in response, the doctor says, "All this is illegal. Many people have to die to make a person young." Steve had no problem with this. So Dr. Chen now brought him to a room where there were many mechanical beds, and there were many other people besides Steve. Steve was told that 9 other people have taken part in this game. One person's memory was to be put in the mind of another person by lying on these beds. But this work was not that easy. This work was done through a virtual game in which 9 other old people had taken part. And at the end of the game, only one person will be alive and young. After knowing this, Steve chooses a dead body of a young man for himself. After doing this, Steve is put in a machine, and we find out that now his mind, or all his memories, have been transferred to this young man. The young man now regained consciousness in a village in Portugal. When Steve regained consciousness, he did not know where he was and what he was doing. He did not remember anything about himself. To protect himself, Steve picked up a stone and went towards a building, where he met a girl. She got scared by throwing a stone at Steve's hand and asked him, "Who are you? Do you know who I am? Who brought me here?" Then Steve replies, "No, I don't know anything." They meet and leave from here. Then they see another boy and girl. The girl had a stick in her hand, as if she was trying to escape from another person. The girl in the white dress with Steve tells the other girl, "Hey, throw it down. Now that we are trapped here, it is better that we do not fight among ourselves and find out about these strange things that are happening to us so that we can find a way out of here." The girl in the black dress does not listen to them and runs away from there. Now a 5th boy was watching them from the back room. He also came to them. Before they could say anything, they heard a loud scream. They ran out of this broken building. When they went out, they saw that the girl in the black shirt had hit a boy so hard that his ear was injured and blood was coming out of his ear. These people kidnapped this 6th person. And a little further on, they met 4 more people. One of them was an Asian man, and the other 3 were girls. These 10 people were complete, and now to find out what was happening to them, they came to this building that was built here. They thought that there could be a clue inside the building. Suddenly, a hologram appeared here. It was Dr. Chen's. The hologram told them that these people are in a virtual game at this time, and their real body is in the facility at this time. It tells that all of you are the richest people in the world, and you have come to this game so that you can be made young again. But none of you will be able to be young. Only one winner will be young in all of them, and the rest will die. Now, Dr. Chun runs a lot of holograms here of those 10 rich people who took part in this game. Along with this hologram, the names of those people and their positions were also written. Who are they? What did they do in this life? And how did they earn money? Dr. Chen tells that after every hour, one of them will have to kill one of his own colleagues. And he can only kill that colleague when he knows who the real owner of this body is. And if someone kills someone without knowing who that person was in the real world, then in such a situation, he will also be killed. Now, there was also a twist in this game. In real life, there were 6 men and 4 women. But here in the virtual game, there were 5 girls and 5 boys. That is, there was only one girl who could be a man in the real world. So these people had to play this game very carefully. If these people do not kill any of their colleagues in an hour, then after an hour, the game will kill one of them by itself. Now Dr. Chen's hologram disappears from here when all the holograms of rich people are standing here. These people now come out of this building and see that there is a big wall all around the building. These people decide to cross this wall and go to the other side. But before they do anything, Steve picks up a stick here and throws it towards a wall, by which they know that a high voltage current has been left all around this wall, so that they cannot escape from here. Now, these people decide that they will not kill anyone among themselves. They will spend an hour quietly, and the game itself will kill whoever it has to kill. That is, these people had left the decision of their life on fate. Steve advises all of them that we should stay away from each other so that we cannot kill each other. Agreeing to Steve's advice, a girl in a white dress followed Steve. She tells him that I will be with you, but I will not bother you much. In the same way, we saw that these people were sitting in two groups. Now, the two girls in one group talk to each other that it is also possible that one of us is a man in real life. The African girl asks many such questions to the other girl, whose answers are known only to the girls. When the girl in front of him could not answer these questions, she found out that he was actually a man. Knowing this, she immediately pushed the girl cleverly on the wall of the current, and so the girl burned to death. An hour before they finished, they had committed a murder in their game. This African girl did all this secretly from her side, but she knew that Steve and his white dress companion had seen her. After killing this girl, she went to the hologram, and she chose a hologram there. This boy was actually a very big footballer. As soon as he selected his body, that hologram was over from there. Now, as soon as she looks back, there were 4 more people here. Here, a man holds a girl's neck and forcibly tries to know her identity. And so, he feels that maybe there is an actress who is very lonely in real life. Although this girl did not tell him herself, he guesses himself and murders this girl, and quickly goes and touches the actor's hologram. But now, because he had made a wrong guess, he was also killed along with the girl. These people are now again divided into groups like before. Everyone was now afraid of their death. They had seen the first boy, how he was killed himself by choosing a wrong person. Now, they again decided that these people will leave everything on the game, that whoever the game kills, he will accept his fate and die. These people come out again, and because of some technical malfunction, we find out that Steve fell asleep in the game. His eyes open inside the facility. Dr. Chen apologizes to him and says that you have come out of the game due to some technical malfunction, but in a while you will be inside the game. Steve asks Dr. Chen if all this is really happening. So Dr. Chen says that you will get the answer soon. And after a while, Steve regains consciousness in the game again. Before regaining consciousness, he was blabbering something. Hearing this, his partner girl was ready to kill him. Maybe she had told her identity to that girl. Before that girl killed him and showed her real face, Steve regained consciousness. And Steve also realized all this. Steve, while self-defending himself, kept turning back from there. But now that girl came forward to kill Steve. In this way, to save his life, Steve attacked the girl with his nearby stick. The stick hit his eye, and by mistake, that girl fell into a well and died. Seeing this, Steve was scared because he did not know who the dying girl was in the real world. And if he had not chosen the right hologram, he would have died. Scared, he now goes to the hologram room. Steve was scared while touching the hologram, but he thought a lot and touched the actress's hologram. So his guess turned out to be correct. And in this way, his life was saved. He was not coming out of this hologram room. That's when he saw that African girl. He said to the African girl, "I know that you have killed that girl, and now I also know about you. So don't worry. Now the next number is yours." He also turned around after saying this. In the meantime, Ishan came here, who started fighting with that girl, as if he knew the Royale identity of that girl. While talking, he suddenly pushed her down from the building, after which he dies. This boy thought that this African girl was an actor in the real world. But when he came to the hologram and saw the hologram, the actor's hologram was gone. The other boy tells him that Steve killed the actor. Hearing this, he was very scared. What will he do now? He did not know anything. He was scared. Here a girl touches Maria. His luck was so good that his guess was absolutely right. And in this way, his life was saved. After this, we are shown that the rest of the people are standing near the swimming pool. They say that they will not kill anyone in the next hour. But here a girl Lee's mind also came to a conclusion. Now in their group, because only one girl was left, and the hologram was also the child of only one woman. So he understood that this girl is the princess. So now he decides to kill that princess. The princess also ran away from him. That's why she started running away, saving her life. Lee follows her and comes to a building. The princess was hiding in the building, and suddenly the princess pointed a gun at him. Now the thing to think about is, where did the princess get the gun from? Actually, the princess knew that if this was a game, then there must be a bonus here. And there was a bonus in this game too, which everyone else did not find. Only he found, and he got this gun. Before Lee kills the princess shoots him in the leg and asks him his name. But he doesn't tell the boy anything. That's why the princess wants to kill Steve, because somewhere he had found out Steve's identity. Steve had saved the lives of 2 people here. And so he found out that in real life, he is a good person and is on some big post. As soon as he leaves, the boy on whom the princess had shot. He falls from the building and die. Here the princess, who was trying to reach Steve, suddenly another boy attacked her from behind. He snatched the princess's gun from the princess, but he found out that there was only one bullet in this gun. The princess, who was sitting down, was afraid of him. Taking advantage of the opportunity, he attacks the boy with a rod lying next to him and saves his life. The boy was not dead yet. He was just injured. Hearing his scream, Steve and the last boy in the game, who was a fighter, came here. To save his life, Steve quickly picks up the gun on the ground and points it at the boy. But there are no bullets in the gun. Seeing this, he started laughing. The other boy said to the princess, "Let's make a deal. We kill both of them, and then the game will choose which one of us has to live." Hearing this, Steve got scared and started running away from there. The boy was now following Steve. Tired, Steve throws the gun in the swimming pool to save him, and then he hits him with a broken bottle lying nearby. After that, he ran towards the hologram room, because now he had to touch the real identity of the dying man. Before he reached the hologram room, we saw that the boy who was attacked by the princess also died, and the princess went and touched his hologram. Here, the princess's guess was also correct. He was a Russian man whose hologram was touched by the princess. And now there were only 3 holograms left here, one of which was Steve's own. One was of a girl, so obviously the third hologram was the one that Steve had killed. Now Steve touches that hologram, and then he comes out and meets the princess. He tells the princess, "We should spend these last hours together. It is possible that the game chooses one of us and kills us." Then the princess says, "Yes, but before that we have to kill the fighter." Steve does not tell her that he has already killed the fighter. He also gives him a slap like a fighter and kills him with a broken bottle. And like this, the princess also died. After which, one surviving man, that is, Steve, won this game. And now in real life, he would have become young. The game was over, and we saw that Steve came to the real world with his young body. Seeing himself young, Steve was so happy that he also gives Dr. Chun a lot of funding to run this company. After which it is shown in the movie Gang that Dr. Chun was also telling a lot of old people about this game. And while showing this, the movie ends here. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something new. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about this movie and what other movies or documentaries you want me to review next. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.